Greetings, I am Lars.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yes.
Yay. Alright, we were trying to get out of this promotional thing. Dang. We were trying to show you this area when it hadn't loaded in, but, you know, it was just this cool mossy rock area. But now all the trees have buried it, but that's okay.
Oh well. Disappointed.
Anyway, we might just get a chance to before we finish this thing. We will see.
Ah!
All right.
I'm so excited.
We're gonna clean the big trees anyway. We had to load them in to clean them. It's all right.
Yep, it's fine. It's fine.
Alrighty.
Hi.
Uncle Arthur said these were his family's trees. Him and his two siblings.
Because fuck his parents, am I right?
Right. We don't know about his parents at all. We know very little about the family history. And also, if he has two siblings, we know of neither of them.
Yes.
It's fine.
Though I will say, so one of the things that I think is funny is that it does make sense in regards to where a lot of people don't necessarily, especially modern day, don't seem to know a lot about their own immediate background beyond like, here's my mom and here's my dad and maybe I know a couple of my aunts and uncles or whatever, and then also like a couple of cousins. But you don't, and then like, you know your grandparents, but you don't really know anything beyond that because
Like,
it's basically done. But
you don't know if your grandparents had siblings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so for a little while when I was a kid, I knew that because I had a lot of great aunts, which the way it works, I think they were great aunts because you have your aunt that is like the same generation as your parents, and then a great aunt is actually your grandparents' generation, then your great is your great grandparents' generation.
Okay.
Anyway, that makes sense?
Yeah, no, I gotcha. I follow.
My great grandmother had 7 sisters.
Oh, God.
So I had a lot of great aunts.
Yes.
I didn't have them all in my lifetime because, you know, from when she lived, 2 of her sisters died relatively young. I was going to say, but like I did have at least 5 great aunts on my mom's side during my lifetime.
Nice.
And so there was a bit of extended family to get to know.
Nice. I wonder also, though, if in that regard, maybe it's mostly a United States thing, because, like, as I've noticed, basically, as the poverty line basically goes, you know, inflates, as it were.
Rises.
Right. As it becomes larger and larger, and less people basically are connected, and they're more and more focused basically on themselves and survival, I think in a lot of ways people are more and more disconnected from basically family and history. Like, I don't know, for example, like my family. So I've talked on here once or twice about the fact that I more or less at one point had over 20 basically aunts and uncles. And that's not including my mom, as far as I know. So, and the big thing is that I really don't know them, and it was always a big point of contention between me and my family, and I'm talking about my mom and my dad, particularly my mom, of going, why won't you spend time with us? And I was always like, I don't have money. What the shit are you talking about? I can't just take time off. Well, when you get vacation, I don't get vacations.
I don't have
in
that
retail
kind of job.
or working McDonald's or any of the number of jobs that I've ever had.
Right.
And my mom just could not comprehend it and never understood it. And I'm like, there is a huge disconnect with basically my parents' generation for just not understanding what the crap was going on. Anyway.
Okay, so they've been protecting me all these years. I owe them at least a trim. Can we please only trim them and not trade them out? That'd be nice.
Right.
Trim, cut. Hey there, La Rosas. Just fixing you up a little. Was she trimming the crown of the tree from behind it on the ground?
Yes.
Some trimming later.
Beautiful.
You
Okay.
removed the vines.
Okay.
Were they invasive, I guess? I don't know. How come you have a completely different breed of oak than all the other ones here?
I'm also like, that is not an oak tree. Oak trees are not this massive warping, convergent, multiple tree experience,
trunk,
winding
thing.
together in a braiding pattern. Because, okay, so again, what's made me laugh about that is you really can get that effect, but it requires having multiple trees, and you have to specifically train them to grow in a
into each
specific
other.
pattern.
Yeah.
Like, that is multiple tree bingo right there. That is not an oak tree.
That is twisting your trees.
That
your
is fantasy
saplings.
tree.
Ah, the lovely fantasy trees. According to their canon, this game isn't fantasy, so you know.
Right.
It's okay, though. The patron can do whatever. All right. Sorry, golden oldies. That's the best I can do with the time I have left. Which is a shame. I always liked this stuff. In fact, I liked everything I did here. The planting, and the trimming, and the fixing, and the yelling at weeds. Oh, I guess that's something I can take with me.
Okay.
That's not a little somber. We're okay.
We're
Clean, medium trees. You mean like these
Probably
guys?
these.
Okay, we're
Maybe?
gonna give it a
I
shot.
have no idea.
Who
I'm
are
guessing.
they?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Like,
Also
genuinely.
clean them, not trim them or tidy them or, whatever. You're actually gonna just bucket of soap and water. We'll clean these trees.
Hooray!
Trees, no.
What?
So it is this one more tree. A few more big trees to trim. So are those related to anything? There we go. I wonder if those are someone's trees too. Like mine. Not really anyone left that I could ask. I mean, your mom really might know. Oh well, let's get you trimmed up too. Plus, also, again, if Mr. Jones was involved in your great aunt's life for much of her life, even when she was married, and had parties here and was all over the property, he may know.
Yeah.
He may be aware. A lot of people share their family history with each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially if they're, getting together.
Uh-huh.
So much overgrowth. Nice blunt cut for you. You're gonna look so pretty. Even more trimming later. We have done the tidying. Please say we didn't remove any of them. Well, I may have spoke too soon. Sigh.
I didn't even see anything to move.
I mean, something over here disappeared, but I don't.
I was watching over here, and as far as I was like, what changed?
It was probably just the ground.
And maybe I blinked
okay.
and I missed it. Oh my god, that was really fast then.
I'm suddenly just so tired. You still have 3 fairy house little areas, my bro. So if you could, I haven't had a day off in a month. All for nothing. I'm gonna get a motel room and sleep for a week when this is over. How will you afford a motel room?
You have nothing.
Lily, do you actually have a whole bunch of savings that you left with that would have been relevant to this plot?
Right?
And that you've been spending on fixing this place up, and you have no care over the loss of that money and the investment of money here, only your emotional energy and time? Are you just financially set anyway for the purposes of being middle class comfortable, and you just need to go get another job after this?
Right?
Because honestly, it didn't sound like it when you moved here.
No kidding.
And it continues to not sound like it if you can't even pay Regina, etc. On the other hand, Regina has done some phenomenal stuff for you. You probably owe her $50,000 at this point.
Yes.
So that. All right, I'm gonna get a motel room and sleep for a week when this is over. I can't believe it's gonna be all over. Also, are you gonna buy a bunch of fancy stuff for,
Right.
the party you're gonna throw?
Here we go.
Choose grove flowers. Can we please do the fairy houses for reals?
It's been driving me a little crazy
Holy
too,
crap.
but I guess we're not going to, because why would we?
I'm also looking to resolve the spilled rocks thing before we get done with this, because that was right now.
Right.
Time to get the last of these plants sorted out. You're doing this in the weirdest order, dear. And I appreciate it. That could be because you're stressed out, but it's weird. Frogs, hello. Meh.
Oh.
Probably the last plants I'll plant here. It makes me so sad. But still, gotta finish what I started. For Uncle Arthur, and for your own sense of accomplishment, if it makes you happy. And I guess for Aunt Mary, too, even though she's on thin freaking ice with me right now. Okay, let's do this, Roxy.
Yeah, that would be... Oh.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. Well, at least those plants are there.
Some of them you can, sort of walk in here, or, one of them you can, and the other one's not so much.
Yeah, you're blocked completely off.
I think I like the one where you can wander around a little bit more.
Yeah, I was like, why not have a nice space like that where you could go have, a picnic
Be
or
under
something?
or at least walk under the tree, kind
Right.
of thing. Perfect. I love that you have a permanent rainbow in this area. It is pretty damn magical.
Patron, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I worked really hard on that.
Uh-huh.
I'm a nature god, not a light god.
Right? Excuse you. I had to be very thoughtful with
And
that.
I'd work with someone else.
Mm-hmm. I'll miss you, little plants. I hope you do okay when I'm gone, so then you don't fall into the same kind of disrepair. Maybe whoever buys this place will take care of you, and not just mow the whole thing and build, a multi-house complex with a resort on it.
Right?
Maybe. Poor Lily.
You know what I think is really interesting?
Yeah.
So if we're really going to end these 30 days off in regards to Luke is gone, she's at her lowest point kind of thing, my thing is going you really did basically advertise everyone going, you got 30 days, and you're ramping up to 30 days. And now you've completely missed the romance. The romance hasn't happened. They haven't gotten together. Nothing's really, it's like...
Nothing's resolved. Everything basically just... What it feels like is a giant marketing pitch. Of
yeah.
We'll get you super really invested. We'll have a whole bunch of plots running at once. And when you get to the end, it goes, but the real story starts now. And you're going, excuse me? So I got no story that whole time?
Right?
Basically.
And that is always a very dangerous move, I think, in regards to like stories that you run the risk of playing.
Of basically offending your player audience?
Yeah, except
the
that
other
as I've
hand-
noticed, most people here don't seem to really care much about the story. They care about just going through the levels.
I was gonna say, I think essentially they're counting on people enjoying the levels
Mhm.
and having it being sort of an extra, cookie at the end that you get to, have some story in there.
Yeah.
And then they've got the additional family groups and little clubs and things that you can do
Mm.
that are supposed to also make it more interesting.
Right?
Ugh, it's so late already. I'm just gonna put some lanterns down here and enjoy the glow tonight. Maybe me and you can have a little cuddle sesh. What do you say, pup? Have you touched Roxy,
At all.
dog, ever?
Like,
Really?
The dog it has not been on your fluff the dog list at all.
Yeah, you haven't ever been like, I love to pet that dog.
That is Lily talking again.
I know. I'm like, what if we have a little cuddle session? Barf! Dog, I will look at you.
Yeah, no, I think this is supposed to be the dog.
I think so.
Yeah.
Then it's settled. I
Yeah,
really think that was meant to be dog's line.
Oh my god.
I do, because that's how that would make sense.
That is disappointing
Well,
again.
That's 4 of those now for this game.
Yeah, which I suppose isn't too bad, but it's really disorienting when it happens.
It
like,
is.
dang.
I'm still waiting for dog to get a person line. I'm really just waiting for it.
Yeah, it would be great. Except that we're almost done, so
I
fuck
know.
that.
I know, right? I guess before the party tomorrow, I can finish up the fairy houses.
Oh my god!
Holy crap! Thank you. For now, I'll just get these lanterns placed.
What?
I can do it, but for now, this. Oh, those are
kinda cute.
They
I
have
like-
stained glass in them.
Yeah, fuck that
Those
noise.
are adorable. Most beautiful lanterns. A+. There. That'll be nice and cozy for me and you later, girl. And later, I mean today only.
Boof! I am dog!
Yeah, it's good to have you barking.
Lily! Lily!
Oh, sorry. Yep, there's it is. Mom!
Yes. What? What happened?
I'm just, I'm happy to see you, Mom. Look who I found. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
I found it in the old cabinet, and then I crumpled her into my jeans pocket, which are girl pockets, so she's mostly broken now, but I think you'll be really happy with her.
But delighted, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Babs! Unbelievable! Still glam after all these years. Not unlike myself.
Uh-huh. For all your protestations to the contrary, it seems like this really was your home, Mom. And mine, too. Since maybe the rest of your life you just moved around a whole bunch, based on how unstable it sort of sounds.
Yeah.
That this would be the only consistent place you were always coming back to.
Mm-hmm.
Mom? Oh.
Hi. Oh.
Oh. 2-part conversation here.
Oh.
Maybe we'll actually get something.
We'll get a
Either
story.
that, or they're gonna go, in this one conversation, you shall resolve all of your conflict and have a total character shift immediately.
Immediately. Until I go back to being the lovely person you know and love.
Alright. Are you okay, Mom?
I was just remembering. I remembered what this place is now. Did you know you were born here?
In this garden?
Whoa.
Outside? Was it a water birth? Oh my god.
Whoa, in the pot. Oh.
I remember you telling me that.
I got pregnant on the road. I didn't have anywhere else to go but here. Mom and Dad were both gone, and I was so scared to show my face. Aunt Mary and Uncle Arthur had paid for me to go to college, and I dropped out to follow your father around. I thought they'd be so angry, but they weren't.
Huh. They're like, we didn't pay for it for us. We paid
paid
for it for you. And if you turned out to not want it after you signed up for it, that's okay. That's actually a really empowering thing. I like Aunt Mary and Uncle Arthur more all the time, but I feel like I'd find their story more interesting all the time.
There's also the thing, though, that I'm like, you're really like that ideal, but they're lost and gone forever sort of
I
experience.
know, they're
I'm not
really romanticized dead relatives.
like, whoa.
Like, wow, yes.
Wow, like, damn.
They could do no wrong.
Pretty much. They just Took me in again. No questions asked.
It irritated the shit out of me. Why couldn't they be judgy? It'd give me more permission to be judgy.
Why couldn't they beat me like I wanted them to? Which is actually sometimes what that is. I want you to punish me for something that I think I should be punished for.
Uh-huh.
And them going, okay.
And they go, you're okay. Things happen. And you go, but I'm bad. And they go, we think you're okay as you.
You're fine, you're a person.
Like, but I failed the meritocracy.
Ah!
And you're like, welcome home.
It's okay. It just drove me crazy, Lily. They'd never get upset with anybody. Not even me. Not even when I deserved it.
I tried so hard to make them punish me by being bad, and they never cared. Some people care differently.
Honestly, part of my question is, why did Holly end up like this? Because if she mostly lived with Aunt Mary and Uncle Arthur before she wandered off to go follow around a boy, where did she develop basically this mentality? Was she always basically just, now is this just basically a result of I'm just aggressively going to be shaming myself for time and all eternity because I did the thing and no matter where I went, even though I supposedly was doing the thing that I love to do, chasing around a boy, I was judging myself the whole time?
Also, was I profoundly affected by whatever amount of time that I did spend with my mom, even if it was minuscule, or the idea of my mom out there being fancy and amazing, and that I never was, and no one cared to make me better based on my understanding of punishment, which is often instilled by the public school system.
Yeah, that's really true, actually, woof.
So I'm wondering how much, the Arthur and, Mary. My brain all the time. Molly? No.
No,
Okay.
not Molly, Holly, and...
Yeah, exactly. Arthur and Mary sound like they were really non-judgmental, but they also might not have been very present.
Right.
So there's a level of going, we accept you completely, but you're sort of a free-range child to develop your own ideas, which is a way of handling things, but some kids do better with it than others. Some people do better with it than others.
Right.
Some people are really good with leave me alone and I will become amazing. I fall closer to that category.
Right.
I was going to say, and some people do way better with get in all of my business and direct me and guide me and answer my questions and stuff.
Right.
I was just say, but as a child, I was way more in that category of please answer things for me. Please talk to me about stuff. And I've gotten so frustrated with how people do it that I'm like, I'll read and I'll figure it out. Please stop meddling and telling me what's the best way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I still and so it's one of those things of the only reason I'm more of a loner now, I think, is because I'm kind of jaded and frustrated.
Right.
I was going to say, but I know people who are more really happier on their own. Anyway, or who develop more, I don't know. It depends on what kind of nurturing and whether or not you're a good social match. I often tell people, sometimes people, okay, so I'm going to go to a daycare thing again, okay? Sometimes when you're watching other people's kids, then they'll comment on how you're really patient with their kid or how their kid will talk to you but not them. And what I have to say about that is sometimes taking the pressure off really, really, really helps. Whatever pressure that is between, you or your child or the family situation or whatever, having a total stranger or a relative stranger go, hey, honey, are you okay? Has a total different ramification than someone you've known your whole life asking you, hey, honey, are you okay?
Right.
But there's a bunch of implied stuff. And I always tell parents you should never feel bad about your kid opening up to someone else because they have no awareness of what kind of weight there might be to it. And so it's a completely different energetic space, if you will, of a different social space. So it doesn't mean they don't like you. It just means that allows them to, to inspire something different in them because it's a different person.
Right.
And if you're there for it, you can then also feel free to engage. So it's like you just need more social, village, and all that, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Even when I deserved it. Mary and Arthur with their perfect house and their perfect hearts, and me, I was, not perfect. I just wanted them to show they were capable of it, capable of being like me, just once.
You have to stop being perfect so I can stop feeling like I'm so bad.
Yeah.
I say I have seen other people have that experience, but I'm not familiar with it.
But that's also the thing too, where I'm like, it's horribly romanticized. I knew lots of people where people are like, oh my God, they're so great and whatever else, and they had deeply unhappy lives. Like there was a woman that I always specifically remember from when I was a little kid, when I was still going to the Mormon church, and she was just everybody loved her, everybody wanted to be. She was soft and quiet and submissive. She was basically a very ideal Mormon woman, right?
Right. Okay.
But she ended up getting a divorce.
Okay.
And it was super like, wow, everybody like freaked, like, wow, this is intense, this is wild, like, what the hell is going on? It's like,
Right.
you do not know everybody's life. Even to somebody like Holly, like, they were probably trying to basically, in my opinion, put their best foot forward, trying to do the thing that they basically thought would be the most supportive or basically most non-invasive to her. So it's like, of course they weren't sharing all their problems with Holly or whatever else. Like, that makes total sense
I
to
say
me.
a lot of adults have felt that they need to hide their problems from the kids in their life. And it's been a pretty standard American model. It doesn't mean that you need to or that you necessarily should, but it is fairly popular.
It's also very strongly boomer. So there's that thing that we've talked about in regards to generational differences, and it's really big with boomers of just going like, you don't ask for help. You just know what you're doing.
Right.
You never break down and admit you're wrong. You just have to keep going.
And then I was just saying, the other piece is people can often develop their value systems very different from each other, even side by side. Happens all the time. Even with like what you might consider happy parent-child relationships, the child will have different value weights than the parent does on things.
Right.
So the things that aunt and uncle found as flaws in themselves and their own shortcomings might not have been things she put any value on.
Right.
And so that can be an important thought exercise to do sometimes when you go, this person has it all together, and go, is it all by my standards of what I care about, it all? Or is it really all of everything? And do you even know what all of everything is?
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it can be very important to realize why you're comparing what you're comparing and what you are comparing.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Anyway, just once. They loved you, Mom. That seems like a very tiny response for that big of a like confession, admission, and like venting of frustration.
And also
Whoa.
going, no, well, I'm just going to be, yeah, well, they loved you, so you need to just figure this out. I know! Just maybe they shouldn't have.
Well, at least we interpreted her low self-esteem properly.
Yes.
It came across.
Yes. Anyway, your father basically dumped me here, right off the tour bus, 9 months pregnant. A little over 9, I think, because my water broke right away. No time to get to the hospital.
Wow.
So, hang on. This is not near the road.
I mean, not right here, over by the house, on this property.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, so he brought her into town, up into the mountains,
so you were born
as we've called it.
So you were born in that house. Yep, okay,
Yep.
so it was
Yeah,
definitely.
it's not right here. It's the whole, don't you know this entire expansive multi-acreage property is right here?
Right.
Just so you know.
Then this estate. You were born in this estate, which does include all the grounds, yeah.
Yep. But when you say right here, some people mean more right here than others. And I'm like, you were born in the fairy garden?
Wow.
Wow! But no.
You know, Lily's garden.
Yes.
And Mary and Arthur planted that tree for you the same day.
Oh, actually, they didn't, because I just uprooted it and replaced it with another one. So that's a different tree. But also, there's a picture of me, like, crawling while the tree is being planted. So unless that's a reenactment, I was older when it was actually planted. Oh, sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Don't correct me. Maybe it died. Oh, shit. Did it die? Oh, damn.
And you know what? That could be the thing. You sprout it and you plant it, the acorn the exact same day, and then it grows and kind of dies off in the fall, in the winter, and then you plant another one that you started indoors.
About the same age,
and made stronger, kind of thing.
Right. And now it's big and strong. Not unlike myself.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is.
I love the
Like
fact that,
me.
again, over and over again, where it's like, it's supposed to be big and strong like Lily. And Holly undercuts the moment it goes about me. It's like, oh, but you're supposed to go, oh, Mom. Yeah,
Right.
it is. Of course it is, honey. Pep. Like, I'm like, you're just supposed to indulge her. When your mom is racist, you just kind of put up with it. When your mom is self-centered, you just kind of put up with it. When
Your mom is abusive to you and hurts you, you just
put up with it. That's just what happens. Grandma
Which-
just loves screaming the N-word and, like, has some extreme racist views, but that's just what you do. Now, I understand.
It's family.
There are really some people where it is that thing you go, you guys, there's nothing I could do. This would result in so much anxiety and, like, abuse. And I get that. I just find it to be frustrating in regards to stories over and over again, though. They still reinforce the goddamn same idea.
I was to say, and I also have problems with the experience of having, abusive relatives in your life as far as going, well, they have some redeeming qualities. Saying someone is abusive or they hurt you does not mean they don't have redeeming qualities.
They're still a person.
Like, they are not mutually exclusive, and nobody is that one-dimensional, okay?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't exist. I would say, but there is an experience where people are like, I can't cut toxic people out of my life, otherwise I would lose the resources and support they offer, and I can't afford afford to do that.
And I have been in that fucking position before.
And I was going to say, and there is an experience where people kind of just brush off going, well, yeah, but the reason we don't spend much time there is because they're really toxic. But you still have to involve them, and I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand keeping people for resources to survive.
Yes.
I understand that. Survival is very important. We are made to survive. I say, but...
We also live in a capitalistic society, and we really need to survive.
I was going to say, there are more barriers to survival than in some cases.
Yeah.
I say, but if you can remove people that are hurting you from your life, you should not feel like you're obligated not to because of, basically social ties. At any rate.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. Got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!